Well, let's see what happens to AMC today. There's a lot of people predicting we're going to see the same thing as last Tuesday. But, like I said, I already have my own little theory based on my own time and pattern recognition. And the one thing that's been constant for 3 weeks now is that specific things happening on one day this week, the following week happen a day ahead. So that one day where we had the crazy shit going on Wednesday, that was the price action we ended up seeing the next Tuesday, and then that's when that ran. And then I was wondering if we were going to see crazy price action yesterday, like we had on Tuesday, and that's kind of what we had. Like, that was really a lot of what went down. I hate this stupid fucking thing, man. It's a pain in the ass. But we had a break in the traditional pattern of what it typically did, the run up, and then it ladders down till around the noon, 12:30 hour, something like that, and then starts making its way up, and this broke pattern early. And here, this would have been a huge run up. If they would have laddered this down like they did before and used those shorts that they used up here down here, this would have ran again. This was a lot of pressure that kept coming in, and it took them a lot of shorting to keep it down and then finally put it under 45 again. So that was very similar. I mean, they'd push it down and it would jump right back up over 45, and then they'd push it down and it would jump up like 30 cents more, and then they'd push it down and jump up 30 cents more above that. Like, it was a lot of pressure coming in. We'll see. I mean, today could still be something similar. There's obviously a break in the pattern. Things are progressively looking better. Like, that's it. That's the only way to view this, is every single day things are progressively looking better. I am still waiting for the MACD and signal line to come over the histogram and signal a big move upward. Similar to this here is really what I'm waiting to see. But it could happen at any minute. That's very true. All I'm doing is basing shit off historical patterns and what charts looked like at certain times when shit did go down. That's all I've been doing. That's pretty much it. And then obviously watching intraday, the shorting as it happens, which is what allowed me to see, hey, they're not shorting like they were. Like, they're running out of ammo. This looks like it's turning around. And everyone, how the fuck could you say that? Yeah, what are you basing that off of? Oh, I'm basing it off my fucking eyeballs. What I've been watching. And apparently I was right. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens today. I know these cock jugglers are still fucking with AMD. Fucking assholes, man. Seriously. This is malicious shorting at like its best. It just is. There is no reason for this. None. Shorting is supposed to be to eliminate fraudulent companies that are bad for the market and stealing money from investors. That shit's that's crazy. I cannot wait for this bitch to just run, just to break out of this shit. I really hope the margin requirements stop this horse shit for the most part. And I know just a lot of the changes I'm looking for aren't going to happen until January, until next year. So, and this I'm loving. This, I mean, I'm absolutely loving this. If you don't understand why, I will show you. You see this? You see all of this? Because they had total control over this thing. No one was even paying attention to it. Even this was shorting and returning, all of it. And then you get to see this. This is somebody woke up the beast. Somebody said the wrong thing. Here we go. And I really think this whole thing here, this was somebody on Friday going, man, you know what? We cannot risk the margin requirements being implemented in the next week or two. We got to get out of these lower positions that aren't going to be beneficial for us. They're just going to cost us a lot of money to stay in them. And someone jumped out. And then someone was like, whoa, fuck, and tried to get it back down before the bell. Too late, already on a top gainer list, and then everyone was like, oh, what the fuck is Catapult? Well, it's going to have to continue. I mean, again, you got to understand, I just showed you, there is no diagram for this. There's no historical data to chart this. There's no way to know how much they can or are willing to continue to shorten this with a retail interest. Obviously, they want to keep it under 5. They definitely do not want it going over 6. It goes over 6, they're now 100% in the red on any of their shorts in this area. And that's not good. You don't ever want to be that flipped in your investment. That's just bad. So I am very happy to see all this, especially even into the after hours, a run up, and then they had to short the fuck out of it. Like, they're having to burn through shorts, which is wonderful. They're having to open up new positions just to try to get it back down to their old positions. It is a good thing. They don't have control anymore. If retail sentiment picks up, man, if this thing takes off, if these margin requirements scare more hedge funds out in the next 2 weeks, this could be a very large move. It could be. No guarantees. I mean, my safest plays are out through October, just to be safe, because I believe we're going to see a steady influx of price movement throughout that time. But given the margin requirements coming into play in the next week or so, and the possibility of hedge funds, little ones, getting knocked out, because I believe that that's what this was. That's why I got in this yesterday. And obviously with all this going on, that's why I made my move then. That's my personal belief. I don't have any way to prove that. That's just what I believe happened. And if this continues for real, like, this is just, it would be foolish. If you've been watching GME and AMC all year and paying attention to short squeeze plays and all this shit, it would be foolish. You're already at the bottom of the goddamn barrel. You have an opportunity for a squeeze if it all plays out and people come in correctly, and I mean, you're in at a GME AMC price once upon a time before the January run-ups that they had. If you start losing a little bit of money, if you have a big position, then get out if it bothers you that much. But this is a play where you could put enough money into that you should be comfortable losing, and it shouldn't even be a big deal because of how cheap it is. But again, just the upside, the potential for the upside is just massive. Absolutely massive. And you have a chance to be one of the first in this. Like, I have a feeling Catapult's going to start getting talked about quite a bit soon. It may take a big move. It may take some sort of push to almost go to $7 or $10. I don't know. It may take 100% gain day or something before anyone really takes it seriously. I don't fucking know. This is all just speculation at this point. But again, just, don't bet the farm on this. There's no guarantee in this. This is just fresh. This is just something I've been watching for a while and was waiting for something like this to happen before I brought it to anyone's attention. There's no way in hell I was going to tell anybody about this fucking play when it looked like this. I can't guarantee that any retail is going to come in, and you absolutely need that. You can't, hey, come put your money in this. Who knows? Now, there's at least a better shot, and there's an argument to be made that retail's in this. These fuckers are trying to fight it back for good reason. Like I said, the float is ridiculously short, like naked shorted. It is evident in the numbers. So there is a lot of potential for upside here. So it will be very interesting to see what happens. I know somebody was asking me about synthetics and naked shorts. I made a video last week or something talking about manipulation, and like, there's a guidebook. I linked some sites and shit in there that will explain everything to you about how naked shorting happens and all the synthetic shares, all of that shit, because the most basic form that it happens in is because of the T2 settlement system. Any lender can lend shares whether they have them or not, and they have 2 days to find them, and they don't always find them, and then sometimes they just lend them out to brokers and are like a hedge fund or whoever, and you still have 2 days before it's settled, but you get them in your account immediately. They're there immediately, even though it's not settled. And these guys have the opportunity to lend those. Once, say it's 100,000 shares, they have the opportunity to lend those 100,000 to 10 friends all 100,000 to 10 friends 10 different times, creating a million fake shares that don't exist. They're not real. But the position is very real, and that's how. But they hide these things. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. You have to read up on it. It is complicated, and you have got to read up on it if you really want to get an understanding of it. Let's see if they're going to fuck with BBIG today. I think they might, but either way, BBIG based really well. I was kind of expecting it to have its little run and then get kicked down back into the fives. It held up pretty well. It pulled an AMC. It, had a nice bump, came down and based at another higher level. Of course, it's not consolidated. You need a few days of it staying here, but this just tells me that there may be another run coming up, another bump. It's already on some people's radars. Some more people are buying into it, wanting to buy into it, and that's what you wait for after a run and then a drop, for it to start trading sideways. And then you're like, okay, well, this is where everyone decides it's going to stay. Now I can get in. So hopefully we see some run up here. It'd be nice. And that's really it for this morning so far. I really do think that, AMC, I feel in my heart like it's heading towards a nice gap up, a nice one that can't be stopped. Everything just says that it is. Everything in charts just says that it is. That's what's coming next. And it's, like I said, it's already trending that way. I already called it happening back here. And now this is where we're at. And been heading up ever since, like steady climbing. So let's see what happens at the bell. I don't think we got 30 minutes until pre-market, and then the bell, and then I will check in with everyone after we see what happens. All right, I am out.